Hi everybody, just a very quick introduction. My name is Donna Clayton. I have a training school in North Hampshire for beauty therapy. I just want to say thank you to everybody in this community. I've been a member now for 6 years for the Salon Industry Networking Group, and it has been fantastic. I've met a lot of fantastic people. I've got some great friends up on here, and it's been a really big support system. So I kind of want to give back. I've been answering a lot of questions lately about how to set up a training school. I kind of get approached quite a lot anyway, and so I wanted to now kind of deliver like a little series of tutorials just to kind of help you guys all out a little bit. So if you've got any questions that come from this, then feel free to either PM me privately or you can pop it in the comments. That's absolutely fine, and I will do my very best to answer your questions. I don't profess to be the front of all knowledge. I don't think anybody is the front of all knowledge because everything evolves so much and everything changes so much over time, and training has certainly moved on since I first started as well. So like I said, I've had my business for 6 years now, and before that I taught in an FE college for 14 years, and training has changed massively. Even though some of the basics don't change, what we offer and how we deliver now has changed drastically, and who it's kind of available to now has changed quite a lot. So to kind of help you guys with some of your questions that you might have, I've done a series of kind of slides. So we're going to go through those, and I'm going to hopefully sort of inspire you, and hopefully answer some of the questions that you might have had as well, because you might have some questions that's about setting up a training academy. So this is going to be my sort of educate and inspire series of how to set up a training school. Okay, so first thing you need to think about is your visions and your goals. So you need to think about why you want to teach and open up a training academy. It's not cheap to do. It does require a fair bit of investment. You can set them up reasonably quickly. It just kind of depends on your setup and your finances and things like that as well, and what it is that you want to deliver. So it is not something you tend to do on a whim. So it is something that does require a little bit more thought, a little bit more research as well. So really, for wanting to understand like why you want to teach, you kind of want to be able to sort of share your passion, share your values. Obviously it's going to be an extra income as well, but that kind of needs to be sort of like the side piece, if you like, and not your kind of main focal point really, if you like. Things like your marketing and things as well. Your values and your passion about the subject area should be your main thing, and helping other people and helping them kind of start off, or helping other salons kind of upskill their therapists should be your kind of main aim. Obviously we need to make money, and obviously we need to be able to put food on the table as well. So it can be an additional income, or it might be your main income stream as well. You might be giving up maybe your salon work, or working for yourself, and you want to kind of completely come into this area as well. But obviously this needs to be communicated in your brand appeal and your marketing. So you do need to make sure it's about your passion, helping people, maybe sharing some of your values, and fixing something as well, rather than going on about money all the time and making it like abundantly obvious that you're only in it for the money. You need to find your niche and your tribe, look for the gaps that are in the market, look for problem solving and solutions. So what sort of things can you solve problem wise? Have you got the perfect solution to something? Is there a gap that we haven't kind of looked at yet, something that was much needed for our industry, or any industry for that? This will suit anybody that's hair, beauty, barbering, lashes, nails. This is for anybody really. This is quite kind of a broad kind of set of slides, and it appeals to everybody. Obviously you need to look at your competitors. And what I would say when you're looking at your competitors is you're doing it for your market research to see what's around, what's being offered, what's not being offered, but try not to map yourself out completely over there with what they're doing. The thing that we've got going at the moment within kind of the training industry, and others may agree or disagree with me, that's fine too, but it is a little bit like sort of the cheap now kind of fight that we kind of got going on at the moment, and a lot of these courses are getting lower and lower and lower in prices, so therefore the quality is starting to dip a little bit now as well, because there's less time to get things done in, so therefore the students are going out, they don't have all the information they need to, they don't necessarily feel confident, even though they've paid like a dirt cheap price for something as well. So we need to kind of get out of that a little bit now if we can. And so it's worth looking at your competitors, look at what courses they're offering, look at the length of time they're offering the course for, and have a look at the price as well. What do they get for that price? What do they get for the sort of the value and the value added in there. And look at how much the business kind of flows as well. Are they offering a lot of very similar kind of things that flow nicely, or does it look like they've done a bit of a pick and mix and they've just picked the courses they think are going to actually earn them money, and not things that gives the student the what next, something else they can kind of learn on. If they pluck something like, I don't know, a gel nail thing with a dermaplaning with a bit of mesotherapy or something like that, if they just ducked, like kind of just picked a load of things up, or is it that they've got like a whole nail course offering, for example? Are they offering manicures, pedicures, gel polish, maybe the extension work for acrylic and gels, maybe some e-filing, maybe some nail art courses or something like that as well? Are they offering something that gives someone all the skills they need for an area, or is it a lot of pick and mixing and things like that that's kind of going on? Have a little look around, look at the gaps, look at what you can do. You don't need to fight it out with these people. There's enough slice of the pie for everybody. I've always been a firm believer in that, and there is a place for everybody. We don't need to sit there kind of fighting for little scraps off of each other. You need to have a little look around, but take everything to one side, and then think about what you can do, how you can solve the problems, how you can pitch yourself, and how you can give your learner the best experience possible, and let them go out knowing that they've got all the information that they need, and they're not having to do loads and loads more research afterwards because they feel like they haven't quite got that. And I think we've probably all had that, haven't we, really? We've all been on a course somewhere where it wasn't quite what we thought it was going to be. We didn't really feel like all our questions got answered, and then sometimes trying to get hold of the trainer can be a little bit difficult as well. So you've also got to think about how you're going to support your learners as well. Are you going to be able to have time to offer them that additional support should they need that afterwards? Have you got some kind of support mechanism in place for them? You also need to think about your goals and their goals as well. So you need to think about what your ultimate goal is for you and for your academy or your school. Where do you want it to go? Do you want to be able to, expand within a certain period of time? Do you want a big chain of them across the country? Do you want to go into other countries? Or are you quite happy working for yourself and servicing the local area? You can be very profitable doing that as well. So what's your goal for that? What's your goal in terms of your life balance as well? Keeping the life and the work kind of balance in. You also need to think about, and I think this is the most important thing, is about your goals for your learners. Is this going to be a transactional experience for them? Is it literally going to be teaching them a skill, sending them off on their merry little way? Or is it that you're now going to be training them and inspiring them to be our new potential generation of the next kind of business owners? And we have a certain responsibility, I think, for that. And so I feel for me, it's about very much like inspiring new potential business owners. So I want to give them as much information as I possibly can. And sometimes that takes a little bit longer as well to do that. And sometimes it takes a little bit more support afterwards. And each learner is very different. So you need to have a little think about, what is your goal going to be for your learners? And how can you deliver on that goal as well for them? How can you inspire them? Or are you quite happy just to show them a skill and kind of send them off on their merry little way as well? You also need to think about then who your ideal market's going to be. So who are they? Where do you find them? What do they do now? What sort of job are they in? And how can you help them as well? How can you help them get from A to B on their goals and their journeys? And it could be maybe there's, they're working in an office, they're doing a typical 9 to 5, and they want to get out from that. Because, this job is amazing, isn't it? We love our jobs. I love teaching, but equally I love doing clients as well. It's a really sociable job. Yes, we have our testing moments, but it is a very sociable job as well. And I couldn't imagine being stuck in an office 9 to 5. I really couldn't. I don't think I can ever get away from people. I love working with people. And so some people, might want to do that, but they need to make that switch and that change, and they're going to need some help and support to do that as well. So you need to think about, whereabouts is going to be best for things like advertising with them as well. What sort of platform is going to work for them? Is Facebook a good thing for them? Are they going to be likely to be an Instagram follower or even TikTok? It doesn't even have to be all social media. They might work better looking at things off of Google. You might work better if you're going to them directly as well, maybe attending some groups and clubs and things like that as well. So you need to kind of really nail down exactly who it is you're aiming it at so that you know who to talk to. Because just because we've decided we want to set up a training school and we've deigned to do this big thing that we think is a really big thing, doesn't mean to say they're going to be queuing up outside your doors. We've got to earn that right, and we've got to earn the right to show them a little bit about us, who we are, what we can offer them, And it's the same even when you opened up a beauty salon or a hair salon. Just because you've opened it up doesn't mean to say people are going to come flocking. It's this sort of know, like, trust thing. And obviously if you've got, you know, a salon already, you know, you've got a nice little market there of people that would probably convert from being your clients and then also being your students as well. Doesn't mean to say you're going to lose them as clients. It does depend what you're doing and what the skill is. So they might still come to you, but they can also be your first port of call. So look at who's in front of you, who's on your doorstep. Don't try and kind of reach too far initially. Try and get that nice little know, like, trust, and get your testimonials up with the people that you've got in front of you as well. And ultimately, you know, it's how you're going to help them as well move forward. So obviously with this, it's going to be connecting with our audience, and this is the kind of the art of conversation that you have really with them. You don't want to talk at them, you want to talk to them. Your whole point of this is about engaging and what platform is best to engage them on. So if I was going to go down, say, like the yummy mummy kind of route, then I would probably be more inclined to go and do talks at mum and baby groups, and like coffee morning kind of groups, have a good old chat to them, find out what their plans are post maternity, because quite often that's a good time for reflection for some people. And I would think about kind of maybe having chats with people in some of the online forums and those sorts of groups, and doing on some demos. If you've got a place of work where you can do that, fantastic. If not, I would take things along, do some real free demos, and kind of, you know, try and engage with them a little bit more as well. And I think you always do better when you engage in conversation with someone, rather than just sticking out random adverts where you might just basically get tumbleweed, really. So you need to kind of think, again, it's going back to those questions, those key questions about who it is you're aiming at, and then how can you converse with them as well, which is going to make a really big difference if you want to kind of set up. And then obviously you want to stand out. Like, what can you do differently to stand out? You know, what is nobody else prepared to do as well? You don't have to follow the industry norms. You know, we do have certain regulations we have to follow, but we don't have to package everything in the same way. You know, largely, you know, long as we're following things like the National Occupational Standards, you know, we can largely play around with things a little bit more, have our own interpretation on something, add more to it, and build something as we want to do. And so it's really kind of good idea to, when you are looking around at your competitors, thinking about what else can I do that will really make me stand out? What else can I offer? What can be value added? It doesn't necessarily have to be more of your time, but, you know, some people like a kit that when they go on a course and have like a ready-made package. Some people prefer to source their own. You know, some people like time to kind of do that. Some people prefer more online support post-training. You know, have a little look around and see what else nobody else is prepared to do. Like, what aren't they prepared to do for this, and prepared to kind of help their potential learners? Then you can go off and go and do it for them instead. I want you to kind of look out for some more of these tutorials then. Like I said, if you have got any burning questions, then feel free to pop it in the comments or PM me directly. I am going to do a few more of these. There's loads I want to share with you. There's literally tons, like pages worth I could share with you, but I don't want to bore you all to death. And so I'd like to kind of share some of these bits and pieces with you, just as over the next couple of weeks. And obviously, if I can be of help, then great. And if it helps one person and answers a couple of questions, for one or two of you, then I feel like I've done my job, and that's really all I'm after as well. So if there's anything else that obviously I can do, let me know. I look forward to kind of conversing with you a bit more. I will do a couple of lives in the group as well at some point, but I want to just kind of drop these in there. You can kind of get to know me a little bit more of a personal level. Some of you obviously I know really well. Yeah, so hopefully you'll all have fantastic weekends, and any questions that you've got, or if you feel like there's something else that I need to cover, that you're really desperate to find out a little bit more about, I'm happy to also include that as well. So have a great day, everybody.